Forgot to record this for another group, so I'm recording now. Hopefully, well, whatever. Okay, let me get back to the sharing. Okay. So getting back to the idea of completely clearing your mind. What's the best way to meditate? So you don't have to completely clear your mind. Doing a stillness practice. So that's basically getting in a room by yourself, or where you won't be disturbed for at least 15 minutes, and just sit there with your spine straight and close your eyes and pay attention to your breath. There's some breathing exercises you can do where you're just breathing in through your nose, you hold, and I'm going to show you how to do a meditation at the end of this presentation. So that's why I want to record this, so I can share it and you can watch this again. But so you don't have to completely clear your mind. That's not realistic for most people. So meditation, when you think about it in terms of that, of a 15-minute or a 10-minute practice where you're going by yourself, you're just stopping your mind from thinking about everything that's bothering you. It can reduce your level of stress. It can have a physical effect on your body. So you can do it in times when you're really stressed out. That's actually one of the hardest times, because if you're stressed out, for instance, let's say you had an argument with your boss at work and you come home, instead of freaking out and punching pillows or smashing things, go by, do a meditation. Sit down, let everything go. Try not to think about the argument that happened, and just think about a sound. A lot of people who train people in meditation actually have a sound. So if there's a chime you can ring and close your eyes and just listen to the chime, just pay attention to that, and not anything. Not let your mind go into what's called monkey mind, where you're just bouncing all around thinking, oh my God, did I make my grocery list for tomorrow? Or, what do I have to do? Don't do that. Focus and reduce your thoughts. Okay, deepen your spiritual connection and understand its importance in healing. All right, well, this may sound some kind of like woo-woo stuff to some people. If you're not even on board with meditation, and here's this guy, Greg Kirk, talking about deepening your spiritual connection. Well, I don't know what to tell you, because that was my path I had a breakthrough, so I now do energy healing. I went from somebody needing energy healing to now I'm a practitioner. I help people with energy healing, because I felt during my healing situation that there was other stuff going on, some spiritual stuff that needed to be healed. I can't tell you how I knew. It was just this intuitive thing that I felt. Some of you listening to this, now your antenna's up. You're like, what's Greg talking about? I feel like, sometimes I feel like turbulent energies around me, and it's not mine. I feel like somebody's thwarting me. I feel like something's going on, and somebody's, some energy's trying to stop me, Well, contact me. Go to gregkirk.com and click on the book an appointment, or the appointment request, and let's talk. I do sessions. I have a sliding rate. They can be $100, but if you're on financial assistance, you need some help, I have a sliding rate. We do these sessions over the phone, and we look at what's going on with you energetically. There might be some sort of block going on. There might be some attachment that is happening. And, again, I know this may sound crazy to some people, but this is very real stuff. And I've had patients go into remission who had been doing physical treatment for years, and we removed some of these blockages, and they went into spontaneous remission. So this is a real option for you. I'm not making any of this up. This has changed my life. So it's changed the lives of other people that I know. So it's a strange thing about Lyme disease. These chronic illnesses have these weird energy blind alleys that can happen. And sometimes it's the non-obvious treatments that get people into remission. So let's talk about more things with your mental state. Have something to look forward to every day. That was something that I started to do as I was getting better, So I realized that if I spent less time focusing on my symptoms and more focusing on, oh, something that I really wanted to do. Um, it took my mind off the symptoms, and eventually I stopped noticing the symptoms, and eventually they stopped. I was still doing treatment, so it kind of gave my body a chance to for the symptoms just to basically go away with treatment, because I wasn't basically, let's face it, your mental focus can keep it changes energy in your body. Scientists are now doing studies on this kind of stuff. So if you are focused on something, whether it's good or bad, it's going to kind of make it a solid thing in your life. So it's best to look at the good things. Like I said, looking forward to things. Another thing you can do is give gratitude. Some people talk about that. They wake up in the morning and the first thing they do is make a list of things that they're grateful for. That's really, really good to do, as opposed to waking up in the morning and counting your symptoms. Just think about the difference. It doesn't sound like a very big thing, but it can have a huge impact on your life if you're doing it every day. All right. And then the final thing is accept where you are and understand you're being pointed in a potentially better direction, and fighting it can make it worse. So let me just talk about that real quick. So I had this, realization about halfway through the Lyme situation, where first I went through the whole thing of why me, what did I do wrong in this life or a past life or whatever, that I deserved all this pain and disappointment and crushing defeat and emotional upheavals. My life was just being torn upside down. And I felt sorry for myself, and why me, that whole mentality. And finally, a couple things happened, and one of the things that happened, I've talked about this quite a bit, but one thing I noticed was I was watching a comedian with my wife, and during it was a stand-up episode that lasted about an hour, and we laughed the entire time. When it was over, I just made the comment to my wife, like, wow, I forgot I was sick the entire time, because all I was doing was laughing. And then I realized that really happened. Like I wasn't sick during that hour, because think about the physical changes going on in my body. I'm laughing, endorphins, all these things, serotonin, dopamine, all these things are going through my body. It was like I was getting an IV of all those good things, and I wasn't sick during that hour. So that kind of gave me a break, and that's something I recommend to patients all the time, like especially the ones who are really down. I'll say, here's how you start getting out of the hole. Listen to some music that makes you feel really, really good, and listen to as much of it as you can during a sitting. An hour is great if you can, or watch your favorite comedian over and over. It puts you in a mental state where your body is actually going through positive physical changes. It gives yourself a chance, a break from all the physical and mental torture. So after I kind of figured a couple of those things out, I realized that, wait a minute, this isn't a woe is me, why me situation. The disease is information. It's telling me something. So what's it telling me? Well, I'm in a toxic environment at work. I am not eating the right things. There's some people in my life that probably are making it worse for me. They're causing stress. And the disease is just pointing all these things out. So if I cut some of these things out of my life, if I change my mental state so that I'm basically trying to be positive all the time, so I'm not thinking about my symptoms and all that kind of stuff, and I just take treatment like I already was doing, what will happen? And, it's like magic. It doesn't happen overnight, and it takes some dedication, but over the course of weeks and months, you start feeling better. And people ask me, like, when was the day that you noticed that you were in remission? There wasn't a day that it was like, oh, done. No more treatment. It was more like I was so involved in my life at the time, in the positive things, that I realized, like, and I hadn't taken treatment one day. I was like, don't think I need to take it anymore. It was an afterthought. The disease was already in my rear view mirror, and I was already had re-engaged with not my old life, but my new life. The changes that that included changes that were positive, and I was around better people. I had a different vocation, all that kind of stuff. So let's. I'm going to stop sharing. Let's talk about energy healing and again, meditation a little more. What is energy healing and how can it help? Excuse me, let me take a little. Here's some cistus tea. Those of you who know me know I love cistus tea. It's great for getting rid of biofilms, candida. It kills viruses and bacteria in the body. Fantastic stuff. I drink a couple cups every day. I've written a couple blogs on it. So anyway, energy healing, what is it? Well, probably the most well-known form of energy healing is something called Reiki. It's spelled R-E-I-K-I. It's when a patient comes in, lies on a table, practitioner comes in and is able to channel energy through their hands. They either will put their hands on the person, on the patient, or have them kind of hover above. I do a version of that. Plus, I use these tuning forks where it changes the vibration of the air, but they also have these feet on the forks and weights on the end. So when you hit the fork, it actually vibrates. So it's like a vibrating device that you can put on different places in the body. And the vibrations and the sound itself go all the way down into bone level, fascia and connective tissue level on a person's body. It can have a really profound effect on somebody physically, but it also goes into the subtle energy realms. So everybody has an energy body and an energy field around them. And you may have noticed you can feel other people's energy. Has there ever been a time when somebody walks in the room and you're like, whoa, that person's energy is really rough or closed off, or you can tell when somebody's mad or whatever. We all have this ability to sense it. So what energy workers do is they get access to your energy field and they look for blockages. They look for things to remove. These blockages, so somebody who has no blockages, just everything passes through them energy-wise. That's a good thing. But things like trauma, things like heartbreaks, arguments, those kind of things can cause a restriction of the energy field and a block. And when they stick around, wherever they are in the energy body can cause problems in the physical body. And I mean, that's a pretty easy thing to understand. So somebody who does energy healing looks for those blocks, looks to remove it. It can go even into some very wild and woo-woo places in some people's minds where, sometimes I do sessions, I see somebody's past life. I have no reason of knowing, about that a person had a life in Germany or something, was a little girl and got trampled by horses. I saw that in a person one time. And as that energy was released, the person started crying. She didn't know why. She didn't remember the life. And then she had this spontaneous healing event. She got better. I can't explain it, but, I can tell you what happened. And this happens time and time again. So obviously it helps to believe in this stuff, but it also helps to, even if you're on the edge of belief, it helps to have an open mind about it. Because otherwise, if you're closed off, it's not just, you're going to be blocked. It's not going to work. So, when some people, if they come to me and say, well, I don't believe energy healing works, so it's not going to work for you. Okay. Let's not waste our time. But for the people who have their foot in, one in and one out about belief or understanding about it, they're the ones that eventually, come around and contact me and say, what, tell me more about this. I've had some strange experiences in my life I can't explain. I've had these sensations or, whatever. And it seems to be related to illness or trauma or whatever. And And so, they come into my clinic and we do physical sessions. But what about patients I have patients all over the world. They can't come to my clinic. So what do we do then? We do what's called remote sessions. So this is something that we do over the phone, and the person lies down. We both meditate. I connect with the person's energy body, and I just basically start seeing what I see. And during these sessions, sometimes it's very physical. I'll you know, I don't really claim to be psychic, but these things happen where suddenly I'm looking at the person's energy body. It looks like a version of them, basically, but kind of shadowy, and I'll see an area in their shoulder light up. And I'll just say, "What's going on with your left shoulder? It looks like you got something around your shoulder blade." And they'll say, "What? How did you know that?" So this kind of stuff happens, and all I do with my mind and with let me explain something about guides. It's really not me doing the healing. I'm just kind of pointing it out. And everyone who's alive has guides around you. You might want to call them guardian angels. Some of them are your relatives who have passed on or who are around you now. Um, and these, believe me, we all have them. And sometimes you even feel them and interact with them. But they are here to help you, and they're the ones who I invite to the session, these remote sessions and the physical sessions. And I ask them to do the healing. So they work with your energy body, and I just kind of watch it. But I'll point it out. I'll say, "Hey, looks like you've got something going on in your left shoulder." The guides come in, they remove whatever the block is, and then we move on. We move down the body and look for more things. So that's really how it's done. And we've been having some amazing sessions over this past year. So many patients are getting better. Not everybody does, but at least there's some level of improvement happening. I mean, the mildest thing I hear is, when the session is over, is like, "Well, I feel lighter. I feel I'm in a better mood. I feel better, So good. That's better. You're in a better place than you were." And sometimes it takes more and more of these sessions just to kind of pull the stuff off of you, peeling back the layers of the onion until we get down to the core of what the problem is. But sometimes the wild spontaneous stuff happens, and that's the stuff that's more spectacular. That's the most obvious, honestly, it's the most fun stuff. But anyway, so that's pretty much how energy healing works. There's different forms of it. There's shamanic healing. There's what I'm talking about. I said remote energy healing. It's also called distance healing. Um, and there's a lot of different modalities, but more or less, this is how the work is done, where it's basically looking for something that is in and bothering a person's energy. And just so you know, this is especially the sessions I do, they're protected. It's for the person's higher and greater good. There's no demonic stuff going on. In fact, if anything, every now and then we'll pull demonic things out of somebody that have been bothering them. But it's so for people who are Christian or whatever your religious beliefs, I've done plenty of sessions on people who are Christian, who are have very, I mean, I've at this point I've done sessions on all religious people from all religious proclivities, and they've all benefited, and it doesn't go against anyone's religious beliefs. But if you if you still feel like, well, my religion says I can't do this stuff, okay, that's fine. You don't have to. But hopefully I'm connecting with a few people out there who are at a point now in your treatment where you're like, I've just thrown everything at this. And I have had some improvement, but I've really plateaued. I've really gotten to a point where I need to look into other things. And, so this is a good thing to try. And for people who have been sick for quite a long time, it's going to take more than one energy session to help you out. But anyway, so that's the long and short of it here. So what I would like to do for the rest of this broadcast is to do a self-clearing meditation that I've been doing with quite a few of my patients. It came through. I mean, I didn't get trained in this. The information came through from, I can't tell you from, it was from beyond the veil. But I've had a lot of positive reports on people doing it. So, and benefiting from it, kind of doing self-clearing. So, what I recommend is you come back to this portion of the broadcast and you try it yourself. And so run the video and we'll do it together. And the whole idea is to connect you with energy that is positive, that is for your thriving, that will help you into wellness, and spontaneous healing. So I'm just going to check real quick to see if there's any questions. Amber says laughing is her favorite medicine. Totally agree. So does Monique. Yep, cool. People on board with the laughter is medicine. I agree. All right. So since there's no questions, I will go into the meditation. So what I recommend for a meditation is you can lie down, get comfortable. The idea is to not have your arms crossed, have your arms and legs at your side, and you can sit or lie down. Just keep your spine straight. Don't be curled up. Be nice and straight. And the first thing we're going to do, I mentioned breathing exercise. So this is just a breathing exercise you can do on your own. This is something you can do for self-healing. Like if you just walked out of your boss's office and you had a humdinger of an argument, you want to go to your car, you're someplace, the bathroom, you can do just this breathing exercise. It'll connect you, bring you back down to earth. So, we're gonna do a breathing exercise. First thing we're gonna do is a protection invocation. So we're gonna ask for protection. So there's no funny business from any negative beings. This is how, well, anyways, we keep it clear. We don't invite any beings in. We just kind of create a perimeter of protection. Then we'll do the breathing exercise, and then we'll get into the actual meditation. All right. So first, I would like to invoke Archangel Michael, Raphael, Saint Germain, all the guides, guardian angels, healing entities, and non-physical beings who have everyone's best interest who is watching this broadcast today. We'd like to establish that we are all sovereign beings practicing free will, and we do not give permission for anything or anyone to enter our fields or our bodies, and we do not allow the mingling of our energies during this session. Thank you all. Okay, so I'm going to describe the breathing exercise first, but right now I would say get in a position, because right after the breathing exercise, we're going to go right into the meditation. So let's get ready. So we're going to breathe in through the nose only. As you're breathing in, it's a 6-second breath in. I'll count it off so you don't have to count it, just follow me. But imagine or visualize just light, love, light, and healing going into your body, spreading all around your energy body, loosening up anything that doesn't belong. Just imagine the goodness, the light of God, whatever you want to feel, anything that makes you feel good. And then we're going to hold it in our bellies, not in our chests, like most, we always think like when you take a deep breath that you put your shoulders back and you raise your chest. We're going to raise your belly. It's called belly breathing. And the monks do it. And so we're going to breathe in for 6 seconds. We're going to have the belly rise. We're going to hold it in our bellies for 8 seconds. I'll count it. And then we're going to release out through the mouth like we're blowing through a straw. Small opening. It's going to be for 10 long seconds. And as you're releasing that for 10 long seconds, we're going to release anything, and think about anything that doesn't serve you, anything that doesn't belong in your energy field, any stress, anxieties, just let that out. And that's going to be sent up to be transmuted into love, light, and healing. Okay, are we ready? Here we go. Breathe in through the nose. Hold it. Release. In through the nose again. Hold it. Release. Last one. In through the nose. Hold it. Release. Just want to let you know that that exact sequence of breathing in, belly breathing, and letting the exhale out really slowly out through the mouth activates your vagus nerve for healing. So it actually has a physical effect on you that's positive. Okay, so close your eyes now and start to visualize. There's an area. It's in the very center of your chest, the very core of your chest. For those of you who understand where chakras are, it's just your heart chakra is right here. It's just behind it. It's just in the middle of your body. There's a little area there. I call it the God spark. It's where you're actually connected to God. It's where you're connected to your energy body as well. And it's just this little orb, this little circular area. And what you can do is you can feel it. Just start to feel heat. Start to feel, first of all, your chest relax. Allow your chest to relax and just feel this little orb there. It's filled with love and light and healing. And just allow it to soften up. And for those who can see, it's full of light. It's this little ball of light, a little bit bigger than a baseball. So just allow it to soften and bring positive energy into your body. So keep focus on that. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to start spinning energy around us in a circle, like a hula hoop or an orbiting moon around you. So by spinning this energy around you, it's like sticking a spoon in your coffee cup and spinning it around. What happens? In the very center, you create a vortex. It's called a torsion field. And guess what is in the center? It's that orb. So as we're spinning energy around us, keep spinning it. Just imagine energy going around you, like I said, like the rings of Saturn or like a gyroscope or hula hoop going around you, round, round, and round. This, by you imagining it happening, it really happens on the on the astral side, in the energy side. And it starts to pull positive, loving, wisdom energy through this orb. And just allow it to get bigger. And those who can see these kinds of things, you're going to see your orb is getting bigger, like the size of a basketball. And you may feel heat. This is good. All of this healing energy coming through. Keep spinning the energy around you, but focus on this orb now, which is bigger. Now it's the size of a beach ball. And what does it look like? It's full of light, full of warmth, love. Feels good, doesn't it? Just kind of bask in that for a while. Keeping the energy spinning around you. So now that the ball is getting bigger, it's starting now to it's going a little bit outside your energy body. So it's going out into what's called your etheric or your auric field. This is what we want. We want this to get nice and big. You're growing your light, more or less. We are all, at the end of the day, these beings of light. We're just, in these bodies now, but we can start to grow this light energy, light body. And we're pulling it out, and now it's going outside of our energy field. And it's turning into this really big sphere. So it's encompassing our entire energy bodies. So now just imagine or feel it, that we're in this really big sphere. And there's things in the sphere. There's light, there's, you know, electrical arcs going on, sacred geometrical shapes flying around, you name it. These are all things that you need. These are being brought into your energy body and your field to help wake you up, to help heal you, to help you understand that you are loved. You are loved more than you even know by your guides. They're always here to help you. Just take a deep breath and relax and enjoy this. So this sphere, as it grows, it pushes out things that don't belong in your field, any negativity, any blocks that I discussed, even any entities that don't belong. And there is a perimeter is being formed around the sphere. The sphere is, the edges of it are getting strong and rigid. So they're keeping all this energy in, all this light, all this love, and they are keeping anything bad out. So now you're in this beautiful snow globe of light, love, and wisdom. And we're just going to feel your chest now. How does that feel? Nice and warm? I'm feeling it in my chest. I'm feeling it around my face. Like I said, you can do this. You can do this every day if you want. It only takes about 10 minutes. And just expand this energy out until you've got the sphere going on. If you don't see it, just imagine it. And by imagining it, it becomes reality. Okay, we're going to thank Archangel Michael, Raphael, Saint Germain, all the guides, guardian angels, healing entities, and non-physical beings who have all of our best interests in mind. Please allow us to integrate this energy with grace and ease, and thank you all. Please close the healing portal with love and protection. Okay. Take a second to kind of come back into your body. You might feel a little wonky after that. That's all right. You might have been a little bit outside of your physical body. Now you're back in it. And now, how do you feel? You feel a little lighter? You feel a little, like, especially in the chest, like if you felt tight in the chest, do you feel loose now? Love to talk to anybody. Let's see if anyone has any questions. Okay, it doesn't look like it. All right, so let me just kind of wrap this up. I hope you enjoyed that, the meditation. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the presentation as well. If you have any questions for Lyme treatment, the physical treatments or energetic treatments, you can go to lymerecoveryclinic.com. Especially if you're interested in the energy work, you can actually go to greggkirk.com. So it's spelled GREGGKIRK.com. Click on an appointment request link, or just reach out to me. I have contact buttons on both websites. Ask me any questions. See, for free, we can just have an email conversation about how you're doing. If you have a question, especially about if you feel like you might have an energy block or something like that, or even I can also help with physical adjustments, with physical treatments. So if you're on a certain treatment plan and you feel stuck, I have a special adeptness at the detoxing. I've developed a number of detox methods on my own. So would love to help you with that. So once again, lymerecoveryclinic.com, greggkirk.com. God bless Jessica and Christina for inviting me. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'll see you later. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.